everyone, it's Crystal with Simple Studies. Thank you so much for being here and for watching and following along. As many of you know, we moved to Florida from Idaho. So there's been a lot of change for our family, and while I'm excited to dive into all the things that we are studying in our homeschool, there have been some major changes. Before I get into that, I wanted to share with you something that's really near and dear to my heart, something I've been working on for 10 plus years, and it's called the Book Bliss Playbook. And it really is about helping your children fall in love with books in their downtime and then reclaiming a little bit of the time to yourself. And how do we do that? Well, I lay it out in a ton of different steps, very simple, very economical. The Book Bliss Playbook is down below, but a lot of things we cover are resource books that your children may or may not be interested in diving into. And again, it's a step-by-step process that I go through with you, and I take you along with me, what I've been doing for almost 14 years to get our kids to fall in love with books and to give me some time to work on simple studies, which is my passion. Now, as we dive into what our family's been up to and all the things that we're doing in our homeschool, I'd first like to say that a big reason we moved to Florida was to honor our son and his dreams and his goals of playing baseball in a professional way at some point. He is 14 years old, and there is an academy down here in Florida that provides our son that support and guidance for his baseball dreams while also offering academics. So we are 2 feet away from the school. He gets to go to his practices in the morning, come home for lunch, hang out with us, and then goes back for a few classes in the afternoon. And it's really awesome to see him thriving in that environment. When you would have asked me 10 years ago, were you going to homeschool during high school? I still take it 1 year at a time. I never know what I'm going to do. We never know what we're going to do as a family or where the Lord is going to lead us. So I'm grateful that you're here on this journey with us to see how everything goes. We're excited to support our son. And then we still have our daughter, who is 10 years old and in around 5th grade. Form 2A level. So we are going to be diving into all the things that I've been working on with her since we moved. Actually, we're in week 9 of term 2 right now, and we have been working on and reading these books and diving into all of these things for several weeks before we moved, and then during the move, and now it's been a couple weeks that we have been diving back into them. So we are actually almost done with term 2. So thank you again for all your patience and waiting for this. I have to say that, again, going back to the Book Bliss Playbook, a ton of what we do is reading aloud. And I know many of you do that as well, which is so amazing. But a lot of us, our kids don't always gravitate toward books, even if that's what we revolve our entire lessons around. So again, that Book Bliss Playbook will take you step by step. Even if you're in a Charlotte Mason education and you've had books with your kids their whole lives, sometimes they still don't gravitate toward reading and books, and that's okay. We each are made uniquely and have different interests and drives and passions and dreams and goals. So again, that Book Bliss Playbook will help take you step by step if your child may not be immediately drawn to books and just feel like, oh gosh, books are just lessons and schoolwork. So we have tackled that before, and hopefully that playbook will help you out. Okay, so with that being said, the first thing that we're going to go into is our morning basket with our 5th grader, Form 2A daughter. And naturally, a lot of you jumped in this winter for our A Simplified Year. It was the first time we've ever done a winter event. We're going to run our A Simplified Year again in May, which we do every single year and have been doing. This will be our 4th year. But I did create Fortitude, which uses The Incredible Journey. And we have been going through that in the mornings together, and she's just like enthralled with this book. So am I. I love this story so much. We're a little over halfway through it, and I promised you guys I would be going through this alongside many of you. So if you did download this and you're going through it with your kids, I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear how that's going for you. So while we use the alveary, we veer off quite often. That being said, I downloaded Tilbury Tales Composer Studies, which we've been enjoying. And I swap those with our Simply Charlotte Mason picture and artist studies. And we've been doing Van Gogh and enjoying that. Our son actually joined in for a few lessons before he went off to his academy. And here's the alveary. So there's this, and we use their recitation, we use their folk songs, and some of their hymns. There are some other things that we let go, but this, for example, is what we use as a kind of a spine for our morning circle with her and her recitation and folk songs and whatnot. For grade 5 with alveary, we have been doing things like ancient history, American history, their science. We love their science this year. It was perfect for her. What else have we been doing? A little bit of Plutarch. And citizenship. For science, for example, we just, especially moving to Florida, which is very different than the Pacific Northwest, I'm trying to figure out how am I holding these up? It like is opposite on my screen, so it's weird. So I have the storm. We just kind of read through this one, which talks about hurricanes, and she was very fascinated by that because we came in after 2 very devastating hurricanes here in Florida. And then we are in the middle of Beetle Busters right now, which it's been great to have some of those prompts and whatnot. Another thing that I wanted to talk about with our science, which is a huge passion of our 5th grade daughter, is we have these online classes right now with Simple Studies that are a lot of our students just started jungle creatures. And I'm going to pop up one of our testimonials right now, and another group is going through Heroes and Hope, and I'm really excited to see how these 2 classes go. This is our 2nd term offering these online classes with Simple Studies, and it sounds like the students are really enjoying them, and we are so grateful for all of our families that are joining us each season. And our teacher, Miss Rachel, I'm going to pop up here what or this way, I don't know, whichever, this way, is something that she responded with after our first class this winter. Now, if you have any ideas as to what Simple Studies online class you would like us to hold in spring, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, back to your normal programming. We have still been working through All About Spelling, level 2, and I'm ordering level 3 literally probably after this video is filmed, and she's progressing. And let's see, I love writing and rhetoric. We've been going through that, so that's really helpful. And then her copy work, daily copy work, which actually in my Fortitude guide with The Incredible Journey, I have dictation sentences, and we've been doing those as well. So dictation and copy work. And then for history through the alveary, we've been going through these 2 books recently and a few other, The Rosetta Stone, Pyramid by David Macaulay, great books. And then we've been slowly reading through these as well. And poetry, still chewing on this guy, which we love. If you can't tell, my daughter loves animals. I know many of us do too. Okay, so for math, we're still using Saxon. However, I did get a math tutor once a week through Grade Potential. You get half off your first hour if you use that link. I will have to double check. Here's like a moment like do for any comment I need to add here in case that's helpful for you. And our tutor, who comes once a week, she comes to our home, which you can choose pretty much, I think, most places in the nation. If you use this link, they can come once a week, they can come twice a week, but it's really lifted that heaviness and weight for our relationship, mother-daughter. We do a few lessons a week, and then her tutor comes and does a lesson with her and teaches her some really fun new ways to think about math and rhymes and things like that. But regardless, it's been a blessing, and I'm very grateful for Grade Potential for offering that. They are not like officially sponsoring this video, but I do have a link for you below to get a discount on their services. Wilbur and Orville Wright, and then her independent reading. She's reading through a few books, but Mozart, the Wonder Boy, our son read through this when he was about the same age. We also jumped into a local community here in the Florida area, and our daughter is doing a hands-on life skills weekly class. So the first week she's learning carpentry right now. She is using a table saw and learning how to create wood products. So cornhole and tic-tac-toe, and she's making all of them from scratch from planks of wood, and that's really great. They will hopefully go into some other things, holistic gardening and baking, and then possibly some engineering and car mechanics. So we'll see where that takes her. And then she also has an art class and an Italian class at the moment. So that being said, we still pull this out because now we're in Florida, so we still pull these out every now and then. But otherwise, as an entrepreneur, she is crocheting daily. We often visit markets and farmers markets for her to hold a table and sell her creations. It's been fun diving into things here in Florida. I picked up, oh, actually this was a gift from my sister and my brother-in-law for Christmas, and this is really amazing. I love this. And of course, I like these things. And if you do simple studies, you live on these field guides. So I'm sorry, I have these other books back here, the entire video, and you're like, what are those? Those are like, I brought them to show you guys as resource books that our kids love. So for Christmas, these things. So books like these are something I dive into in that Book Bliss playbook that I talked about earlier. We've had this one on hand for several years, and kids really enjoy multiple books that have really cool pictures and information, whether it be history or science or geography. There are multiple things our children can dive into, and while it is a broad stroke approach to learning information, the goal is our children are on the floor every day or couch. That's ours are on the floor a lot. I don't know about yours, but it's often the case with ours. They're just on the floor looking at books, which they're probably doing right now while I'm filming this video, but that's only because I've implemented all those steps that I give you in that Book Bliss playbook. Last but not least, as I said, we will be holding a Simplified Year, the event, again this May, and I know many of you, there are thousands of you that download that every year, and I'm so grateful that you do, because not only hopefully is it blessing your family, but it blesses all the content creators that we team up with. And these women are incredible small shop owners that really are looking to just reach families worldwide and bless them and help them and encourage them that you don't need a huge budget to homeschool. And their genius creations and their products and resources are just, they're so great. And I'm so glad that they participate and contribute their products to you guys. That being said, sorry, long spiel leading into, I will be creating another resource for Simple Studies for a Simplified Year in May. And I would love your opinion if you have any. If you have any books that you love, if you have any books you're looking to dive into. I love getting feedback as to what you think would be a really awesome, generally a chapter book, or even resource books. I have considered resource books. There are some really cool mythological ones that I've considered doing in the past. Anyway, that's enough. My point is, if you have any ideas and they align with our family and what we're doing at home, which is really the key behind Simple Studies. I love creating things that we're doing as a family, because to me that's a little more authentic than just creating something that we're not using. Same with our monthly memberships. I create those to do those with my kids and dive deep into those things. This month it's the Northern Lights, and again, my membership is always linked below. Northern Lights, ice cream, Polar Explorers, which, oh gosh, I love reading about. I mean, I don't know if you get my emails, but I talk about the over 100 books that I read last year, and Woman in the Polar Night was one of my favorites. Endurance is one of my favorite stories of all time. I'm going to stop talking because this is too much, but all that to say, thank you for being here. I hope this video is very helpful as you look into what you're doing with your homeschool. I will hopefully be filming another video for you for our last term, spring term, sometime probably April, May, because it's weird to put your face in the public sphere, so I don't do it very often, but I do appreciate those of you who are here and follow along. That was really long. Thanks for being here. I hope you're having a blessed winter and have an amazing spring. going into term 3. All right, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.